Okay, sorry. Hiya. How y'all doing? So, I'm going back to commentaries. Because I think commentaries deserve a little bit more praise. And because since YouTube is becoming a very commentary, related or essay related place, I decided to cover something a little bit controversial, some would say. And I decided to cover a video about Rachel Zegler. Because I'm bored. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm sorry. This is my channel now. So context. Disney released a movie. Well, they release a live action movie every year. Right. They release a live action movie of Blue. And everyone gets that. Well, it actually started with The Little Mermaid, where everyone was being very racist and weird. Like, the amount of comments being racist towards Haley Bailey is a lot. And now everyone is coming for Rachel Zegler. And it's getting the same energy. Now, I boycotted the Snow White movie for a complete different reason, and a much more complex reason. Because I didn't care anymore. Also because Disney supports a country that is committing the largest unaliving ever, and it starts with an I and ends with an L. But we're not going to talk about that. What we are going to talk about is this video. Because I found it on a Discord, and I immediately wanted to watch it. And talk about it. So, here we go. Let's go. I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm sorry.
Hey guys, it's Night Panther, and welcome back to another response video. And I'm happy to announce that I'll be making response videos more frequently. But anyways, for today's video, oh boy, this one was hard to make, because I have been thinking about making this video. I had this planned for a while. For today's video, I'm gonna be looking at Rachel Zegler's quote-unquote apology, which it was months ago. But now that we got the intro out of the way, let's begin this response video to this quote-unquote apology. Roll.
Are you gonna explain? Because I'm very confused. I'm very out of the loop. This half-assed explanation isn't doing me justice, and I want an explanation of what happened and not, oh, it was Rachel Zegler's apology. Like, that's not doing me justice. That's giving me nothing. And I know this is your 18th birthday special, so I'm going to be nice to you. Anyway.
And to everyone who hates when I win, the winged victory came to the Louvre in pieces.
What the fuck are you talking about, Rachel? And why the fuck are you acting the same way a villain would? Oh, wait, you are the villain. You want to know why? Well, let me list a few things you did. First, you shit on the original Snow White, saying it's quote-unquote outdated and quote-unquote weird, without even showing evidence to back up your claim.
Let's go! Here's a better explanation of what she actually said. To give out more context, the original cartoon came out in 1937, and very evidently so. There's a big focus on her love story with a guy who literally just stalks her. Weird. So we didn't do it this time. It's an inner journey that she goes on to find her true self, and she meets a lot of people along the way that she makes the journey really incredible. Which, okay, I can see why. But also, to defend Rachel Zegler, it is very weird and outdated. Not all women need to be defended by a strong man for a good story. You realize that, right? Like, that's kind of weird and problematic. Also, the whole story is very much conservative. Hope someone can back me up. Please? Anyway, continue.
You are narcissistic. Let's not forget that.
Where and what? Because checking your description, there's literally no sources, but a YouTube video, which could actually be a source, and a group of friends' accounts. Explain?
Besides, you even admitted it yourself. That proves that you're narcissistic. And also, you called the prince a quote-unquote creepy stalker, which again, you did not provide evidence to back up your claim, and other bad things you did, or even said.
And then you show no clip. No reason. No evidence. No supporting claim. Like, could you explain? Like, I don't know where this all came from. Also narcissistic. Like, her being proud of her accomplishments. Like, her being proud? Is her being narcissistic? What? I don't know.
And people still line up to see her. And I can only hope that despite my flaws, and despite my cracks and my breaks, and there are many of them, that at every premiere and everything I do, people will wait in line to see.
Well, Rachel Zegler, last time I checked, nobody wanted to see your shitty movie. No one was at the theaters. It was only you, and only you saw your own movie. That's how bad your movie was. Nobody came to see it. No one even decided to buy a ticket to watch your movie because it was shit. And also, it flopped. You want proof? Well, let me show you.
Explain? Also, so you're telling her, oh, only you wanted to watch it. No one came to watch it. Only you wanted to watch it. Is it criticism? It's very destructive of her art and the work that she put in to get where she is now. Like, telling her she's shitty when she didn't even make the movie bad says a lot about people. Also, blaming her over this is awful. In some reviews, I tried to see if anything had to do with Rachel Zegler, and not really. Well, there were some reviews that did talk about Rachel Zegler, but they gave her constructive criticism. For example, this review made by, I'm so sorry to butcher your name, RizPJCWH. I'm so sorry.
Not sure why they bothered. Saw this at the cinema with my 6-year-old daughter. She laughed at a few scenes but whispered, "This is boring." About 45 minutes in, watched the rest of the movie, and we were both happy when the movie ended. For me, the CGI was distractingly bad. I wasn't aware of the issues the film had prior to casting, but they should have either gone with the actual actors or spent more money. It's worse than you think, and it's just not just the dwarfs. The forest and the other scenes are poorly done. A couple of the songs were catchy, but at the point I just wanted the credits to roll. Acting wise, I guess the actors had to work with what they were given, but they seemed disconnected and going through the motions. Snow White's lines sounded forced and uncommitted. A better work with what she was given. I think the original film had an innocence this actress didn't grasp or was unable to portray. Really, this movie seemed more like a direct-to-video movie than a large-budget Disney production. I've seen better CGI in small-budget television shows and far better acting. Maybe miss this one unless your little one really wants to see it. Even then, maybe wait for it to be free on a streaming service. It's just not worth paying to see.
And some reviews were talking about Gal Gadot's performances rather than Rachel's.
Another unnecessary remake of a classic tale. Putting aside of all the political controversy and discussions revolving around the film, with the focus this remake as itself, still, it is really unnecessary and quite dull. Disney has continued to prove that live-action remakes of classic animated tales are getting tiresome and unoriginal. Besides the Jungle Book and Pete's Dragon remake being pretty good, the other remakes have remained dull, baffling, or offensive. Snow White is one of those dull ones, covered with excessive usages of CGI and colors. The camera work, production style, and the colors feel bloated and unsocial, alongside with the bland direction, uninteresting takes of how they tell this tale, where the characters were once beloved in the animated movie become lifeless and uninteresting here. The choice of using CGI dwarves really was a bad idea because it came up as quite uncanny and unintentionally creepy to observe at times. The performances aren't very great. Rachel Zegler does give her best, as she does have a solid moments, including some of the vocal performances from the other cast. Gal Gadot, however, her performance really didn't work at all. Gadot lacks the emotion and creep charm to what the Evil Queen should have been. Despite some good-looking designs on the background and all, it was really boring. Mark Webb tries to his best, but unfortunately really little about this would ever work. Please, audiences, stop giving them remakes money because they are just responsible for remakes to keep existing.
And yes, everyone did watch the movie. However, for the wrong reasons. And that's why I got targeted so much. Anyways, continue.
You see, Rachel, empty theaters. No one there to watch it, because it was shit. And this will go down as the worst Snow White live-action remake in the 21st century. Sorry, but you should have not made those comments about the original Snow White. You know what they say, karma will always come back to bite you in the ass. And it definitely did. For me, along with other people on the internet, we predicted that this movie was gonna flop. And guess what? It's now a reality you can't even accept, coming from a 20-plus-year-old woman, which is you, Rachel Zegler. That is sad. Maybe you should have not opened the mouth.
You know, I never expect to be saying this, but you showing an empty theater like it meant something. Girl, that looks like a stock image. That doesn't look real. Also, again with the, oh, it's so shitty. Could you explain why it's shitty? But you could explain why it's shitty, but instead, you're literally repeating the same things over and over again. I think I'm done. I don't know. This video, I have a lot to say. The video felt destructive rather than giving them criticism, and nothing wrong with that. But when you're responding to someone, you should have to be mindful. You have to be mindful about each other's mindsets and beliefs. Saying it's shitty because the internet told you so is not telling me anything. It's telling me nothing, to be exact. So maybe work on that. Also, lack of sources. I'm kind of confused of what was the point. Like, she was just happy, and you're shitting on her because she's happy. Well, what? I'm confused. Again, like those sources, no evidence other than 2 pictures, a YouTube link, and a bunch of YouTube accounts. So work on that, buddy, too, buddy. So that's it. Bye. Bye. Okay, just bye, okay?